Okay, guys, so the first step in putting together your zine is gathering the content, starting with the copy. So Chat GPT, I think, works well in this case because we're not going to be evaluated on our structure and the essay. It's more about styling the text. So we just want to create a certain amount of text about someone, which Chat GPT is perfect for. I think it's a good tool for designers to use. You just have to remember you have to edit it. Wouldn't want to just take something and put it into work for a client. You got to go through it really carefully. I'm going to use a different designer as my example. I'm going to use Alvin Lustig. And you got to remember with Chat, GPT, and AI in general, it's not like a Google search. You're not trying to find something that's out there. You're trying to ask GPT to do something for you. So I'm going to say, write a 1,000 word essay about Alvin Lustig. Now, here is what might be surprising is that sometimes it'll give you 1,000 words, but sometimes it won't. So you still need to check. So when it's done writing this, I'm going to take this into Word and make a new document from it. So let's copy all this and see if we do actually have 1,000 words. I'll put this into Word, and this is the best place to build a document. And it looks like we're tapping out at 531 words. Sometimes ChatGPT does that. I've looked this up because I've seen the problem happen. Right after doing that search, if you say keep going, it will keep writing copy. Hopefully it will write about 500 words more. So now I'm going to add that to this. Paste it at the end. And now we have 950 words. So by the time you put in your title and the chapters, it might be enough. 950 is certainly in the ballpark, so I'm not going to split hairs on that. There's something else that you could do. Once you read through this, like Alvin Lustig is someone who had a lot of different areas. There's his contribution to architecture, graphic design, things like that. But you could go even more specific. Like I could ask it to write a 1,000 word essay about the book cover designs. Alvin Lustig. So now it's going to write this essay just about those book covers. So if you want to go broad and write about a person's whole life or about a whole movement, you can. But you can also, as you start to read through the copy, you can make it more specific. So don't forget what needs to be included in your zine. We need a front cover with the title. We need at least 3 chapter titles, and that's in addition to our 1,000 word count, body text, and 6 images. Now I'm going to go try to get some chapters. So write 4 chapter titles. And there you go. Now you don't have to use those just as they are. I could just use this front part, a creative childhood, designing a new visual language, things like that. So I'm going to copy those, take them into Word, and now I've got to place them where they fit. So I'm just going to place them at the beginning for now. And once you get all this done, you can go into the styles pane and say clear formatting, and it becomes like that. Those chapters need to be worked in. You need to break up the copy with those 4 chapters. You could have more than that, or you could have 3 chapters, but you got to have at least that to break up a book. So now we have some chapters. How about some book titles? So I'm going to say 10. Write 10 titles for a book about Alvin Lustig. The other thing you have to watch if you are really doing a project like this is when you decide on your final title, for example, you would have to do a search and make sure that doesn't already exist because AI is pulling from the internet and it doesn't care if it steals. So I might look through this and decide one of these titles would be good. So I'll put in The Design Genius of Alvin Lustig, a Visual Biography. Let's just say I choose that one. I'll put that in my Word document. Take all of this and remove the formatting. Remember, that's under the Styles pane. Now, all I got to do is go and put those chapters where they belong, and I'll be ready to start searching for images. Okay, so now you have your copy. You have your title. You have at least 3 or 4 chapters that break up the story of the particular artist or period, and you have about 1,000 words. So you can see with my chapter titles, I'm at 986, which is close enough. Now you need to read through the copy to figure out what you're going to show as visuals. So as you read through the early times and specific parts of this, you're just going to go and start searching. So for example, Alvin Lustig, I'd like a picture of him. So I'm going to say Alvin Lustig, and I'm going to do a search for images. Now, some other things that you can do are you can click on Tools and you can search for larger images since we're going to be printing. So we want as large as we can. And I'm trying to find a photo of him. So this is not too bad. I might use that one. So I'll just hit Control click and save that image. And I'm just going to gather images about him. Now, as far as rights, if you're doing any project as part of an education, you actually have free rights to use it, to show it in your portfolio. You just can't represent it as your work. And since your entire zine is about a reference to someone else's work, you're free to use it. So if you went under usage rights and said Creative Commons, this is what you would be able to use without any permission if you were selling this book, which you can see isn't much. Here's a record cover I could use. Now this one, as you can see, I go to save this image and it says web page complete. That means it's not available as an image. So the best thing I could probably do is take a screenshot for that, or I can go and do a search specifically for that. But we're not going to be able to get much results with Creative Commons. So you're free to use these images that are for your movement or artist. Go and put large to get the biggest ones that you can. As you start to find things, you might change your copy a little bit. And make sure that you grab at least 6 images to tell the story. Try to distribute the photos throughout the book so that it's not all in one section. Of course, they all have to be at least 200 ppi and scaled proportionately. So now that we've gathered images, at least 6 images, and I have the copy, it's time to start putting the file together.